$75.000 a night. Holy shit, da gehen wir rein. Boah, die meinte, drüber war 100.000. Ah, Bro, da gehen wir uns doch nicht mit 75.000 zufrieden.
This is a hotel room. And not just any hotel room, but rather the most expensive hotel room on the planet.
What?
At a cost
Ist es Dubai im Hintergrund?
of $100,000 per night. You could buy a nice house in Phoenix, or you could stay here for a week. It's located here in the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, and
Las Vegas.
today I'm going to take you on a tour of it. I've borrowed this room courtesy of Vegas.com, which is your one-stop shop for your Vegas vacation, letting you bundle your flights and your hotel rooms and your activities and shows into one transaction with big discounts. This is called the Empathy Suite, and it's basically a two-story mansion in the sky. It's effectively an all-new room as part of
Digga,
a
wenn du
nearly
dir so einen Raum holst, dann musst du doch da drin eine Party schmeißen. Ansonsten lohnt sich das doch gar nicht.
$700 million renovation of the Palms, and this
so girls
is the
and so.
crown jewel, the ultimate hotel room in Vegas, probably the most expensive hotel room on the planet.
What the
and
fuck?
today,
Real Rap, ich könnte mir vorstellen, dass sie es einfach nur so teuer gemacht haben, damit es der most expensive Hotel Room der Welt ist. Und alleine dadurch, dass es der teuerste ist, verkaufen die es wahrscheinlich schon so 2-3 Mal mehr, so im Monat oder so. Wisst ihr, was ich meine? Safe call.
now, eagle-eyed viewers may point out that I don't normally review
Das sieht super scheiße aus. Also Real Rap bis jetzt finde ich es überwack.
hotel rooms, but I did review a few houses last year, and ever since then, people have been asking me, begging me for more property tours. So I figured, why not come out to Vegas and review a hotel room that costs $100 grand a night? Seems reasonable enough. So let's get started with the tour. Now, I'm standing here in the entry of the Empathy Suite, and a few things to go over. For one thing, it's about 9,000
Ah ja, flat ist das Wort.
square feet, and yet it only has 2 bedrooms. I'll explain why in a minute. Now, like I mentioned, this is a 2-story hotel room on the 34th and 35th floors of the Palms. Now, some other perks that they give you, you have a 24-hour butler who is on call for the duration of your stay. And you also have a chauffeur.
Digga, eine Private Lena für den fucking Hotelroom. Lena, ich brauche ein Auto morgen um 12 Uhr für den Livestream.
Car service, among many other things. But as I stand here in this entryway, you're probably thinking, it looks kind of
Hey Lena, wir brauchen einen Helikopter in ungefähr 30 Minuten für den Stream.
dull until you look over there. And then you see some sharks. The
Digga, das sieht übertrieben scheiße aus.
sharks are there because they're art from the world-famous artist Damien Hirst, who designed 6 individual pieces
Das Hotelzimmer
for
ist
just
bis jetzt so
this
scheiße.
hotel room, including these sharks, which are called winner-loser. Rather interesting thing to
Digga, es sieht aus wie der Eingangsbereich von der Jugendherberge.
see right when you walk into a hotel room. But anyway, you walk into the Empathy Suite and turn to your left, and then you see a medicine cabinet, which seems oddly placed until you discover that it too
What?
is a piece of art from Damien Hirst. This one is called Vegas. And the Damien Hirst theme continues throughout the room,
Das ist ein Kunstwerk.
specifically with butterflies and medicine or pills.
Stell dich vor, du bist einfach ein Drug-Addict, holst dir dieses Zimmer, deine Pillen gehen leer und dann willst du dir diesen Schrank gönnen, machst es komplett kaputt, aber da drin ist ja halt nichts wahrscheinlich, weil es einfach fake ist, weil für die Kunst. Und dann kommst du da als Hotel-Owner rein, nächsten Tag ist das Ding ausgeräumt.
And there's more art worth noting right off the bat. For instance, above the bar, you have these marlins in these glass cases, which is a really cool look you can see from a lot of different parts of the room.
Digga.
Although my
Das sieht so scheiße aus, wirklich, das sieht so beschissen aus.
personal favorite art piece is next to the dining room table. It's this wall of pills called money. You can see there's just pills and more pills, and it's a rather striking look, but it's one that I find rather amusing and interesting and certainly worth checking out. But let's go back to the bar.
Okay, die Bar ist krass.
Yes, this hotel room has a bar, and I can tell you right now that
Bar.
your hotel room doesn't. But take a look at the top of this bar.
Okay, das
It's
ist krass.
medical waste.
Boah, Junge. Das heißt, oh Mann, ey. Wirklich, das sieht so scheiße aus. Warum?
But you do have these medical gloves and pill wrappers and tubes all throughout the top.
Digga, das will ich doch nicht. Das soll doch nicht meine POV sein, wenn ich esse. So eine fucking Nadel, Alter.
Bar. There's even a syringe or two in here. The people at the Palms told me it's a rather controversial piece, but I think it certainly looks interesting and more exciting than just your standard bar. Not that you would mistake this for your standard bar, because it has 13 seats in a hotel room. And as you can see, each of the seats has a little pill on the back, again continuing the theme. Of course, in this bar you also...
Dieser Stuhl sieht so unbequem aus.
And next up, another item. When you come behind the bar, you can see there's an iPad here, mounted on this little pedestal. And why would you have an iPad in a bar? That's because this controls basically all of the comfort and convenience and tech equipment in this hotel room. I'm gonna go over a few of the highlights. One is that this room has 5 different climate zones. There's different climate zones in the bedrooms, different areas of the room, 5 total different temperatures you can have as you walk through here, which is more than most people have in their home. Go into the curtains menu on your iPad and they will all close automatically. You don't have to press a button or point a remote at something.
Ey, Mann, das sieht aber wirklich so scheiße aus, Digga. Auch dieser Pillar hier, der sieht so kacke aus.
Just do it on your iPad. And of course, you can also use the iPad to reopen all of the curtains all automatically, so you don't ever have to lift a finger except to tap your iPad.
Digga, auch diese Aufkleber, Junge, es sieht so Müll aus. Bro, Real Talk, das ist nicht mal 10K am Tag wert.
And next up, moving away from the bar, we walk now towards the living area, or one of them, and the dining room table, and here in the kitchen. Now, the kitchen is over here in a corner, probably not gonna be doing much cooking or food prep while you're staying in this room, but it is here. And there's a nifty little feature. You can access the kitchen like I just did.
Wait, gibt's kein Herd?
By walking through the room.
Was ist das für eine Küche?
But if you have like a caterer coming over to make food, you don't want them to walk through your party. So right when you enter the room, there's a little hidden door on the side. That's your butler's
Da kocht niemand, ja, aber hätte man doch trotzdem adden können für 100K.
Entry to the kitchen, and they can just come right through here, access the kitchen, and they won't have to disturb the guests by doing so. That is a pretty cool quirk. And next up, let's move back into the living area for one of the great seating areas of all time. Now, I say that in part because of this view. You look out over the strip, you can see all...
Ja, der View wäre echt cool, wenn da nicht diese komischen Aufkleber legit aus dem Kindergarten.
The other casinos.
Die alles ruin, Alter.
Mountains in the distance, a gorgeous place to be. I don't know if this is actually the world's longest couch, but it's gotta be in the running. It kind of snakes all the way around the room, clearly custom designed for it. I counted, and you could...
Die sieht scheiße aus, ich weiß nicht. Digga, ich weiß nicht, ich will jetzt nicht so trash talken, aber es ist einfach kacke, Mann. Ja, okay, genau, ja, wenn es halt keine 100K werden, genau, also so, wenn es halt, keine Ahnung, wenn wir halt jetzt hier über 5K reden würden am Tag oder 10K wegen mir, dann könnte man noch darüber streiten, aber für 100K, das ist das teuerste Hotelzimmer in der Welt. Das muss im Grunde auch das beste Hotelzimmer sein. Aber legit, Digga, da würde ich lieber so, das sieht halt einfach... Das sieht scheiße aus. Da sehen so 100 € die Nacht Hotels in Deutschland besser aus.
So, what do all these people do when they're sitting on their giant couch? Well, the answer is they can watch TV if they want to, of course. You can see there's a TV here facing like...
Bro, versteh mich nicht falsch, aber der Fernseher ist fucking klein für eine 100K Hotelzimmernacht. Digga, was? Digga, das ist meiner in meinem Wohnzimmer größer.
Maybe a third of the couch. But just in case you feel like you're being left out from the TV experience, don't worry.
Vor allen Dingen so random im Weg, ja, so ganz komisch.
Go along the back of the TV and you can see it's double-sided. And there's speakers on both sides. So if you're sitting at the bar, you can watch the TV. And if you're sitting on the couch, you can watch the TV, which is a pretty cool situation.
Okay, that's cool.
For instance, you're having a Super Bowl party.
That's cool, I guess.
At $100,000 a night.
Ich habe eine Theorie. Ich glaube, dass mindestens 50% von Kunstwerken einfach darin besteht, wie dumm können wir es machen, damit Leute actually noch denken, es ist Kunst und wir können Geld damit machen. Das ist ein großer Bestandteil von, warum Kunst überhaupt existiert.
Next up, moving on from that second living area, you come behind another wall with a giant television and you enter what I'm calling the game area, because you have some games in here. For one thing, you have like a psychedelic pool table, a multicolored pool table.
Das hat funktioniert.
Not like any
das hat 1 million
probably
plays,
ever
let's
played
go.
on before. I'm not sure how all the lines on the table would affect lining up your shots, but it would certainly be interesting to play here. Over on the other side of the room, you have a Foosball table, which is also rather
Okay, den finde ich krass.
interesting because
Aber der Boden sieht auch schon wieder so scheiße aus.
it's glass. I've never seen a Foosball table that looks like this before, but maybe this is what foosball tables look like for rich people. And speaking of interesting looking games, back in the sitting room there's a chess set with square pieces. Doesn't look very practical, but it's...
Ja. Weiß ich nicht, Digga.
And next up, you leave the game room, come over to the side, there's a little door, but before you open it, take a look at the wallpaper in this room. You can see some subtle butterflies in here.
Bro, das sieht nicht aus wie Kunst, das sieht aus, als hätte da jemand gefuscht beim Fliesen verschmieren, Alter. Das sieht übertrieben scheiße aus.
I've stayed in hotel rooms that are smaller than this bathroom, but this is just a half bath. There's not even a shower or a tub in here. This is just a bathroom with a toilet and a bench, which is just insane. And as you can see, there are pills.
Bruder, Real Talk, dieser Ausblick sieht aus, als wäre so... Das sieht einfach aus wie so ein großer Supermarktparkplatz oder so. Das sieht so scheiße aus.
All over the wallpaper too, again kind of in keeping with the theme.
Es sieht so kacke aus, die Tapete ist auch so Müll. Es macht mich einfach nur sauer. Also wirklich, wer gibt dafür Geld aus? Das ist doch, kannst du mir nicht erzählen, dass sie das aus irgendeinem anderen Grund machen, außer damit zu flexen, dass man sagen kann, man war im teuersten Hotelzimmer.
But who has time for pool or foosball or bathrooms, really, when you have this balcony? Come out from the bar and from the living areas, open the door, and you can see this is the coolest balcony I have ever seen.
Nee, Digga. Finde ich nicht. Der sieht echt scheiße aus, Mann.
The coolest balcony you have ever seen, the coolest balcony anyone has ever seen. One major reason for that, of course, is the pool, which actually hangs out over the hotel, facing toward the Vegas Strip and all of the...
Wirklich, wer in Gottes Namen kam da auch auf die Idee, lass mal noch 14 Sticker hinmachen? Es sieht so beschissen aus.
Higher than anybody else at the Palms, facing all of Las Vegas. That has got to be one of the coolest things you can do in this town.
Scheint eine krasse Stadt zu sein, wenn das Krasseste ist. Na perfekt, Digga. Das Krasseste in der ganzen Stadt ist, einen Ausblick zu genießen, wo man kaum was sieht, weil alles vollgeklebt ist mit irgendwelchen Pillen. Na top.
One other cool thing out here, the balcony actually opens up to the bar. You can see I can slide open these little doors and open up directly to the bar. The hotel will supply you with a bartender for a party if you want.
Digga, ist es hier so verschimmelt?
And open up directly to the bar.
Was ist das da, Digga? Das sieht echt widerlich aus.
The hotel will supply you with a bartender for a party if you want, and then they can serve you not just inside, but
Okay, das sieht cool aus, I guess. Das ist cool, dass man dann da auch Drinks so geben kann.
also outside, which is a pretty good situation you don't usually see in your typical hotel room. And by the way, one other
aus wie eine Drogenaufklärung auf einer Bahnhofstoilette.
Ist so, alles sieht aus wie eine Bahnhofstoilette in diesem Hotelzimmer.
item worth noting, you can see these columns on the side of this giant pool hot tub thing have these little dots on them. This is another Damien Hirst touch, all of these little multicolored dots that go up both of the pillars. I happen to like it. I think it gives this area kind of a whimsical, cool, more interesting touch than...
Ja, finde ich nicht. Ich finde, es gibt dem Ganzen, es sieht richtig scheiße aus. Wer gibt dafür so viel Geld aus Touch? Ey, ich sag's euch wirklich, ne? Ich würde mich da in so einem 200 € die Nacht Hotel 2 Milliarden Mal wohler fühlen.
I haven't even taken you upstairs yet to see the rest. So we go upstairs and you can see all the butterflies along the glass.
Guck mal, überleg mal, wie viel krasser das kommen würde ohne diese Butterflies. Es würde so viel heftiger kommen.
Next to the stairway, again keeping with the butterfly theme. Then you can see more Damien
Obwohl das noch fit geht. Das ist nicht so penetrant hier mit den Schmetterlingen.
Hirst art on this landing, all the additional butterflies.
Okay, das ist
and
schön.
next up,
Das
you
ist
turn to
groß.
the right when you get to the top of the stairs and you enter a bedroom, which is insanely...
Ich glaube, ich hätte es gefallen, hätten sie als Theme nur die Schmetterlinge gemacht. Ich glaube, das wäre krasser gekommen.
like a large
Okay, das Ding ist krass. Das Ding ist heftig, Digga. Aber der Teppich ist wirklich... Der Teppich ruiniert wieder alles, aber das Ding ist heftig trotzdem.
room with a large living space and there's no bed in it. The bed is in the other part of the bedroom elsewhere. That's just how big this room
Das Bett ist übel klein.
is. A bed and a seating area and like this little nest thing hanging from the ceiling, which you can just kind of curl up in and hang.
Digga, es sieht 0% gemütlich aus.
Out if that's what you want to do in your bedroom. The bathroom is quite large, as you can tell, but that's not the most opulent part of the bathroom. Keep going through the shower and the tub and the sink and all that, and you get to the massage room.
Okay.
You have in this bathroom a built-in room just for massaging. And you have a special sink in this room that the masseuse or masseur can use throughout the massage process. Of course,
Okay, das ist krass.
you also have a dedicated massage table that has butterflies on it because you would expect nothing less.
Das Badezimmer ist okay, finde ich.
But probably the most unbelievable thing on the second floor of this hotel room is in here. I'm not talking about this door. That takes you back into the hall. It's a second entrance.
Vielleicht haben wir Glück. Und jetzt kommt der Übersafe, warum es 100k worth ist. Vielleicht auch nicht.
I'm talking about this door because you go in here and you have the salt room. Ah, yes.
Okay.
The salt room.
What the fuck?
What's the matter? You don't have one? Before you enter this room, you turn this little switch on the outside to turn on the salt. Then you come in here and apparently salt particles start to fill the room and you sit back and relax and it's supposed to help with your allergies or your aura or just
Wegen Salzraum. Good one.
making you feel more relaxed.
Ich will jetzt nicht die ganze Zeit Trash talken, aber das ist das schlechteste Hotelzimmer, was ich je gesehen habe. Das ist legit das schlechteste, was man für 100k kaufen kann. Also es ist gut durchdacht, aber es ist trotzdem fucking scheiße. Das ist mein Statement hier. Das war ein gutes Video, war funny. Aber das war auf gar keinen Fall das beste Hotelzimmer, was ich je gesehen habe. Das war so scheiße.